We need to speak about Arsenal. Before we get into this, make sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Road to 1,000 1,000 subscribers, should I say, is on its way. Let's do this, people. Let's grow the channel. I'm starting to do more on my own channel now, so let's try and get that up. Listen, follow the TikTok, follow the Twitter or X, whatever. You'll see them down below. You'll see them in the little panel I've got here, Gooner Talk. And we're here to talk about the Gooners. We're here to talk about Arsenal and how it is going right now. And I'll be honest, right now, it's been a bit pathetic, to be honest, from Arsenal. It's been a bit pathetic from Arsenal, from the board in the and the higher ups in the summer, in the transfer window. And I think it's been a bit of a joke from Arteta this season as well. Obviously, we've had our fair share of injuries, but nevertheless, I don't think we've looked good much at all this season, to be honest. So let's get into this. Arsenal, how do we feel right now? Where are we in the league right now? Where we're currently sitting however many points behind Liverpool. What is it? 7 behind Liverpool, 5 behind Man City. It's not great after 10 games. You know, it's not great. Our next game's Chelsea, must win. Got Inter tomorrow, must win. So let's just talk about what we think's going on. I want to talk about what I think's going on with Arsenal right now. First things first, I think that a lot of Arsenal fans are blaming purely the injuries, and I think injuries have a big part of it. I think we have had an ungodly amount of injuries for our team at the start of the season, and it's been quite key players. But there's also been the discipline issues. There's been other issues. It's been the fact that we ain't been playing One-Yeary, the fact that we're playing a bit more defensive and we don't look like we let the handbrake off. This is all things that are playing a part, and I think it's all at once coming. Now, I do think Arteta starts the seasons a bit different to how he finishes the seasons, and I think he wants to kind of hold the handbrake and then let it go later on in the season and go on a charge, a bit like what Man City does. But we've had these injuries, and it's kind of made that harder to do. You know, we haven't got enough attacking threat in this team, in my opinion, especially when you ain't got the likes of Odegaard stuff. But even with them, we needed a striker, and this is where I'm starting. We needed a striker in the summer, and we did not get a striker in the summer. Whose fault is that? Is it Mikel Arteta saying we don't need a striker? Is it Edu and the board and stuff like this saying we don't need a striker in our opinion, or the funds or whatever? Now, we sold a lot. We made profit. I don't know the whole FFP situation, but we've been shouting out for a striker for years now. Since Aubameyang left, we've been shouting out for a striker, and we still haven't got the striker we need. Kai Havertz is a good striker for what he does, but we need that different guy. We need a Victor Gyökeres. We need an Alexander Isak. We need a type of striker like this, and they are available. And they ain't. Like, I think Gyökeres we could have got for not a bad fee. That's the worst part, you know. So we'll have to wait and see how this team, what they do in January and stuff like that. But as of right now, I think it's been awful. I think there's a lot of pressure on Arteta this season, because if we do bad and we don't win anything, like, I'm not going to lie, we got to start looking at alternatives maybe. You know, I am a big fan of Arteta and I want him to do really well, but this team's good enough to win cups, you know. And say we don't win the league this year and we fall off a little bit in the league, in the sense of we come third, maybe drop off a bit. We're not really in the title race come the last few weeks, but then we pick up an FA Cup, do well in the Champions League. Yeah. Get a cup or two. Yeah. Get the Carabao Cup. You might be able to say, you know what? Let's look at this season. We won a trophy, but this season we fell off a little bit. Now, next season we'll go again. But that's if we get the trophy. And this is what I'm saying. We need to look at trophies now, because at the end of the day, finishing second's all well and good. Yeah. For one season, maybe for another season, but 3 seasons in a row, it's not enough finishing second. And bearing in mind, it don't even look like we're going to finish second the way we've been playing. Of course, I believe Arsenal can turn it around. I believe we will go and beat Chelsea. And who knows, Odegaard's back. You might see Arsenal just flip a switch and we start performing again. And then Liverpool drop a few points, the City drop a few points, and come the end of Christmas, we're sitting there back right in it, a few points off the top, saying, hey, we could still win the league. But the fact of the matter is, we need to be taking these cups seriously. We're now late in a later stage of Carabao Cup. We've got Crystal Palace at the Emirates in our next game of that. We must, I repeat, must win that game. We must, in my opinion, win that cup. I think this City's not in it anymore. Obviously, there's Liverpool in it, Spurs are in it, Man United are in it. Them two have each other. One of them are getting knocked out. Yeah, Chelsea are out of the cup. Still Newcastle in it. So for me, that cup is very winnable, and Arteta should be licking his lips at that and saying, you know what, like I could win that. He could win that cup because you win that cup early. He could win that cup and still be in the title race at the time, maybe still be in the Champions League. So he could win that cup and give us a real boost to this team, man. Like I'm talking like mentally as well, man. If we lift that cup mid-season and we still got like games, it might go, yeah, we want more. Like we want to lift. We've lifted this Carabao Cup. We now want to lift the Champions League. We now want to lift the Premier League. Like it might give the team that boost towards the end of the season that I think we need. So I think he should be licking his lips and rubbing his hands at that cup and saying we're going to win that cup this season, as should the players. Onto the players, I think they've not done their part this season really either. I think there's been a few of them that have been a bit shocking this season. I think the exceptions are David Raya, I think Gabriel, I think Thomas Partey, I think Saka. I think these guys are the ones that can put their hands up and say, and they give it every single game. I think Saliba's been great this season, but I think he made that mistake in the game, and then he weren't there for the Liverpool game. These sort of things, but he's been pretty quality. Apart from that, Havertz has been decent this season. Obviously, the last couple of weeks he hasn't done much, but the team haven't really done much. But there's a few players that have been disappointing me a little bit. I think Declan Rice has been all right, but I just think they've been not at the level we know they can be. Declan Rice, Trossard, obviously Ben White's had his injuries and stuff. Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus. Oh, don't get me started, Gabriel Jesus. Oh, he makes me yawn. He makes you yawn because I never see him score goals now. But yeah, listen, the players need to take a look at themselves. Obviously, we've been missing our captain, our maestro, our number 10, Martin Odegaard. He is now back. So all the excuses, that Arsenal fans have clung on to, excuses that I've even used. I've used the Martin Odegaard excuse once or twice because I do believe that Martin Odegaard does leave a gaping hole in our team when he's gone in his position. I honestly do. And I think the fact of the matter is we did not replace him. We did not replace this guy correctly. Yeah. We've got Wanyeri. He's still young, and we're going to get onto him in a second. But now he's back. We're going to see if it's true. If he comes back and we start playing how we were playing, and we start running over teams and winning and that, we're going to have to sit there and say, bloody hell, like, maybe it was this Odegaard guy. But then we can't be a one-man team in that sense. But yeah, listen, onto Wanyeri. Obviously, the manager has some trust in him and says, like, he's the future of the club. I agree. I don't even mind him not playing as much as some people want him to play. I wanted him to start against Newcastle. I did sit down after and I spoke to a few people, and I did come to the conclusion maybe it wasn't the right game for him to start because they're a very physical team and stuff. That might be right, you know. But it's other games. It's the other games that he hasn't started that have bugged me. The Southamptons, the Bournemouths, these games that he should have started, in my opinion, or at least got better time on the pitch. They're the games that I question it. But I reserve judgment on that. This guy's a young guy. There's no point just rushing him in. Especially when Arsenal ain't doing the best. So yeah, Lewis Skelly looks the player. He's coming through. But right now, I don't know, man. It's very stressful in the Arsenal fan base. It's very touchy in the Arsenal fan base. Obviously, we got the banter of everyone. We know how it is. Football. People have been waiting for us to have a little slippery slope like this. And they're on the banter. We're going to have to take the banter up. But it's still early in the season. It's still very early in the season. 10 games in. There's 28 games left to play. So things can still change very, very quickly. But the thing is, they have to change now. They have to change from now. Listen, we're not out of the title race. I said that I think we're out of the title race if Man City won against Bournemouth, which I really think they did. We're going to. They didn't. That keeps us in the title race because I do feel like Liverpool will drop and slip up in certain places throughout the season. I'm not saying they're going to have a massive drop off. I'm not saying that. But if City went 8 points clear of us, I can't imagine that happening. I can't imagine them dropping 8 points. But Liverpool dropping 7 points, I can see that being more likely to happen just because the level of their squad, in the sense of like depth wise, like Salah gets injured or something. I know you can say that for anyone, but an injury like that can really hurt them. The manager's not proven yet in like the end of the season in the Premier League and stuff like this. Who knows? They might just go and keep the gap and win the league. I'm not saying they can't, but I just feel like I'd say Man City, even at this point, are still the favourites to win the league. So therefore, if they had won that game, I think it was well and truly over. It is still possible to win. Listen, we beat Chelsea and then Liverpool have Villa and Man City have Brighton. Say them two lose and we beat Villa and we beat Chelsea. All of a sudden, we're back in it. And this is how quick it can happen. But we have to win. Yeah, that I'm telling you, Arsenal players, fans, the manager, everyone should be looking at that Bournemouth result at City and saying, mate, we got a lifeline with that result. Because I'm telling you, if they had won that game, that was them. They'll go and win not Liverpool might have won the league, but I don't see us catching them personally. But you never know. Madder things have happened. I'll still say go for every game. I'm never going to tell Arsenal to forget about the league, although prioritising trophies may be the right choice this season. Prioritising maybe the Champions League. You know, I'm not saying we're going to win the Champions League, by the way, but I think that anyone can win the Champions League. We've seen Chelsea teams win the Champions League with arguably the last Chelsea team that won the Champions League. You could argue, yeah, that this team's as good, if not better than that Chelsea team. We got the same striker that they had when they won that game. Big up Jacob. You think we have a chance against Chelsea? I think we do. I think we beat Chelsea, to be honest. We've got a great record now. I wouldn't say great. We've got a decent record at Stamford Bridge now. I think that we've got Odegaard back and we're a bit wounded. And I think that Chelsea are going to hold that because of that reason. Like, it's a bit, Chelsea are going to be pissed that we lost that. They won't say it, but the fact that we lost. Oh, sorry. The fact that we lost that Newcastle game, was big. If we'd won that Newcastle game, Chelsea might have had a better chance of beating us, but I don't see us losing again. Like, honest to God, I don't see us losing back-to-back games in the league. It could end the draw, but I think we'll beat Chelsea. I think there'll be a surprise there when it's up against us. Well, we say a surprise, but when it's up against it, yeah, listen, people thought we were going to lose to Liverpool. We drew with them and we should have won the game. And we had more injuries, bearing in mind. We got Saka fully back now. We'll have Saliba and Gabriel in the Chelsea game. We'll have Odegaard, obviously, back in that game. Also, think Liverpool will fall off. Love the channel, by the way. Love, bro. Obviously, road to 1K. I also do stuff on the Football Terrace and all that. If you ever want to check them out, go follow. And Footy Judge Mo and Hussam's channel. I'm only starting to do a bit more content now, being very busy. But yes, I also think Liverpool can fall off, man. I think they'll. I'm not saying they'll fall off like dramatically, like in the sense of like they'll just capitulate, like. But they've got a run near the end of the season where I could see them dropping a few points and doing it. I can see. I'll be real. I could see Liverpool doing what Arsenal done the first year we were competing. You know, when we we're running away from City. And then we had a few bad results and we sort of fell back and then we end up losing the league to City. The year that we bottled it, well, we kind of did bottle it. But that year, not last season, the season before, I can see that happening to Liverpool this year. The only thing is Liverpool do have more X-factor players, such as, such as Mohamed Salah, that seems to just get him so many points in a season. But if something happens to him, then You never know. So I think that might happen, but that's not bad for Liverpool. You know, Liverpool shouldn't be thinking they have to win the league this year. They should want to win the league, of course, but under a new manager and stuff, they should not feel like they need to win the league. Um, so yeah, but listen, on Arsenal, to wrap it up, to wrap this whole conversation up, we have not been good enough. We need to improve, and we need to see that now. We've got Inter tomorrow in the Champions League. Go and win that game, please, Arsenal. It'll be a tough game. Yeah, to be honest, I'd probably take a draw right now at the San Siro. But win that game, go and beat Chelsea, put us back in winning ways, and let's move forward, because so far, no good. And the only positive I will say, yeah, is come this weekend we win and we're in and around it, and that's still, we've had a chunk of games that are tough games: Newcastle away, Villa away, Spurs away, City away, Liverpool at home, Brighton at home. We've played a lot of tough games. You know, we've played a lot of them toughies. Even Bournemouth away, you're seeing they beat Man City as well. That's a tough game. So we got quite a few of the toughies out of the way early. We got a lot of home games. And at December period, we got a lot of winnable games. I think after this Chelsea game, we've got like 10 fixtures that we can win every single one of them. Yeah, and we should be winning every single one of them. So say we beat Chelsea and go on a 10-win streak, then all of a sudden, Liverpool and that drop a few points within them 10 games, which is possible, then we're back in the title race. And this is how it can all turn around. But we need to hit that form. And that's why I say to myself sometimes, I don't know if we're in the title. I think it could be over or not. It's because I know we can go on them runs, and I know we will pick up, but it's just I can't see when it's coming. I'm hoping this Odegaard sparks is the spark we need to go forward and progress. He is our captain as well, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. But Arteta needs to have a bit more balls about him as well. He's not exempt from criticism. I think he's made a few poor decisions this season. I think he's been a bit too safe at parts this season, and we will have to wait and see how he deals with this situation and if he can turn it around for the club. But yes, people, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, road to 1K. Let's get this channel to 1K. Share it with everyone you know, and please subscribe and like, because it really helps me grow and lets me bring out more content for you guys. So yeah, listen, people, let me know in the comments below what you rate Arsenal's season so far out of 10. I know there's going to be a lot of low numbers. I can't imagine anyone putting above a 5. Maybe some people think it's been above a 5. But I won't give mine now. I might reply to people in the comments with mine. But listen, people, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember, people, eat pizza, eat pasta, Baccaio, blood clot, Saka, Sicilian Gooner. Peace.